Today, I want to talk about manifesting a specific person and how to have them to fully conform to your desired version of them. Manifesting an SP is one of the most popular topics in conscious manifestation, and for me, one of the most important ones, and I'm going to talk more about that in the video, why I find this one of the most important things that you can manifest. Now, you might have already noticed that my channel is actually not an SP specific or money specific or anything specific. Here I am teaching the law of assumption, the power of your imagination, and I'm basically giving you the tools that you can use to manifest anything that you desire, be it money, health, relationships, anything. But sometimes I like to go into the specifics, and this topic being one of the most important and most popular ones, I know that a lot of you guys have a lot of questions regarding it. I know that my clients do. And so I am here to unpack this a little bit and give you solutions and explain to you why some things are happening and what you can do. So if you want to learn more about the laws of the mind, your wonderful human imagination, as Neville Goddard calls it, you are in the right place, you are on the right channel. I hope that you will subscribe and stay tuned for a lot of videos and a lot of information about how to deal with life while you're manifesting and how to actually use your mind wisely and correctly. But in this video, we're going to talk about an SP manifestation. So where that usually starts is, of course, very obvious. You like a person, you want to have some sort of a relationship with them, and then you start manifesting it. Now, here I have to say that I have had questions about an end goal being the right one or not being the right one. And I remember one client in particular who was so insecure about her desire because everyone talks about going to the end, manifest the marriage, imagine the marriage. And she said that that's not really what I want. Do I really have to imagine a marriage? Like maybe I will want that, but I'm not really sure for now and I don't want to imagine a marriage. And so is this not an end goal? She was manifesting dating with this guy. Now, what an end goal is your current desire. So don't let anyone tell you what you should desire. What you're desiring currently is your end goal. So you might just desire talking, communication, a specific text, which is a very small thing, right? Compared to a whole relationship. So whatever you desire, that is what you manifest. So if your end goal is marriage and children and buying a house together and whatever, then that's your end goal. But if you're not there yet, do what you actually want to do. So if you want dating, then that's what you're manifesting. Just make sure that you know that, because if you are manifesting, imagining dating, that is not going to manifest you commitment. It's going to manifest you dating. And then from there you can continue to the next thing that you actually want. So that's about an end goal and about what to focus on. You focus on what you actually desire with that person. Now, when you start focusing on your end goal, that is typically, of course, not always, everyone is different and everyone's manifestations are different and everyone's experience is different. But typically that is where the stuff comes up. And this is why I think that manifesting an SP is one of the most important things, let's call it, I don't know what to call it, one of the most important things in our growth as a spiritual human being. And what I mean by that is when you are manifesting a person that you are fully emotionally involved with, they tend to bring up all the insecurities you've ever had about yourself. and about relationships and about men or women. Everything comes up because everything is related to that. Now, if you are manifesting a pair of shoes, you might not have to deal with any insecurities about yourself or your worth or, But when it's a person and you like them and it's such an important thing to you, and of course, everyone who manifests an SP, it's important to them. It's an important manifestation. It's not something that you do just because it's fun. It's because, again, it's important. So it brings up everything that is relevant for the relationship to be the way that you want. And that's a lot of self-concept. And this is also why I think that self-concept is such an important thing. Let me dare to say it's crucial, because everything that you experience it based on your self-concept. So I would highly suggest, if you haven't already started working on your self-concept, start doing it. Otherwise, one or another manifestation is going to push you to do it. Why I'm saying this is because of experience with several hundred clients who have manifested a specific person. What happens usually is that the client comes in with this problem that they're facing with their person, and what we figure out as we go is that the problems that they are dealing with in general have nothing really to do with the person, but they are old limiting assumptions that they have mostly about themselves and from past relationships that they are carrying on. This is why it doesn't help to leave the person and go find a better one, which is the common thing that we hear on how you should be dating and stuff like that. By the way, I am going to link in the description videos about self-concept, and I have one specific I did about dating advice like this and how to deal with it and how to actually manifest change and anything that is relevant to this topic. So when you're done with this video, please make sure to check the description box below, because I'm going to have a lot of relevant content in there for you. So that's that. Now, these problems that you are facing from a specific person, it's important to understand that they are you pushed out. And everyone is you pushed out, by the way. People often think that only the person that they're manifesting is them pushed out. It's everyone. It's also your friends who are giving you advice about your person that you're manifesting. They are also you pushed out. And what that means is that people are reflecting back to you your own beliefs, the things that you believe about yourself, about relationships, about that person, etc. And where it seems like you're having a problem with this specific person is that person has to behave with you the way that you believe about yourself. So if you're coming into a relationship with old beliefs that people usually treat me like this, I'm never really respected in relationships, I don't feel like I deserve to be loved because of this and that, anything. Or if, on the other hand, again, we tend to always bring up the negative emotions because that is the problem. Usually we don't have problems with positive emotion, beliefs, assumptions, emotions. But on the other hand, if you have beliefs about yourself that that you're the most beautiful human being on the planet, and people that you are attracted to are always crazy about you and always want to commit to you, or they want what you want, that is what is going to be your experience, because that is how they need to behave with you. So when you have assumptions about yourself that are not helpful, so negative limiting beliefs about yourself, you bring them with you into your relationship. So your person now has to behave like that, because everyone is you pushed out, and everyone can only behave with you based on your beliefs. What that then looks like is that person is being fill in the blank. Bad, I don't know, rude, not in love with you, not wanting you, not being respectful, etc. So now you also create assumptions about them because now they are like this and like this and like this. This is usually what happens with, I guess, every single client that I have worked with. They come in and the current situation looks like the person is being rude or unkind or just not interested in them. But then we track it back to self-concept. When you solve that, everything solves. But when you are manifesting an SP, it's sort of not the best solution for me as a coach to say, oh, forget your SP and just work on self-concept. That's not going to work because you want them and you're going to think about them. So therefore, I would say do both. Now, where the conforming part comes in is when people complain about their SP not conforming, take notes here. The only person that is not conforming is you. They can't conform before you have conformed to your new version of self, mostly. Manifestation always goes back to self. Self is mind. Mind is everything that you entertain. So if you are constantly dwelling on the 3D, complaining in your mind, feeling bad. Now, there are ways of dealing with both negative thoughts and negative emotions. So make sure you do that. But and that's a topic for another video, and I have some things that I will link again in the description box below. If you are constantly in that mindset, like, see, they don't conform, see, they're still stubborn, I'm not feeling that they love me, and this and that, that's how they have to show up. Manifestation is the opposite of what we have known up until the point we figured out that we're actually manifesting consciously. What we learned before was that life happens and then you have opinions about it. It's the opposite. It's you have opinions about it and then it happens according to that. So if you keep an image of your specific person who is the way they are being in the 3D, and a lot of people do this unconsciously. No one does this on purpose. So if you're doing it, no worries. Now you know, and now you know what to do. A lot of people imagine the things the way they are on autopilot instead of being conscious and imagining the things that they want them to be. And that is the key. So long story short, if your person is not conforming, go back to self. Have you conformed? What is the image that you're holding of them, of you? Most importantly, of yourself. Who do you see? How do you see yourself in the relationship? In your mind, how are you being treated and how do you feel in that relationship? Do you feel loved? Do you feel wanted? Do you feel that they're committed to you? Do you feel that you are important to them? And even if this part can be tricky for some people, if you don't want to just yet focus on so much on the self, it has to come to that at some point. But you can start with, how am I imagining them? What image am I holding of the person? Because if that is not your desired outcome, there's nothing they can do about it. And no, I am not excusing any bad behavior, or I'm not telling you to stay in any dangerous or toxic situations. But you need to understand that that's how manifestation works. And your mind is, like Joseph Murphy says, no respecter of persons. It doesn't care about anything. It doesn't even care if it's dangerous for you. If that's what you're keeping in your mind, if that's what you are continuously imagining and dwelling on and feeling bad about, that is what your mind is going to manifest, because that is what you keep imagining. So therefore, and this, I think, is a very powerful thing to know, because then it doesn't depend on them. You don't depend on their mood, on their wants and needs. This didn't sound fantastic, but that's essentially what it is. And when you are manifesting a relationship, you are manifesting happiness and love for them too. So in that sense, it's a good thing. You are manifesting them being in love and happy with you too. So you are manifesting something wonderful for that person also. So therefore, it's you. It's about you. What you are holding in. Have you changed? Every time you ask the question, why haven't they changed? Because I'm doing all this work. I have been affirming, imagining, doing all these things, and they still haven't conformed. Have you conformed? Have you changed? You are the one that needs to change. The first change that happens in any manifestation, regardless of what you are manifesting, it can be SP, weight loss, money, better friendship, weather, whatever you're manifesting, useless stuff, objects, seeing weird colored cars and stuff like that. Well, those things are easy because you don't have stories about them. That's the only reason they are easy to manifest. With other things, you have a story that you need to change, and you need to be the one to change. And the first change in any manifestation needs to happen within you. When that change has happened, first of all, you're not so worried. That is also a good indicator. You feel calm. Like, weird stuff can be happening on the 3D that you know that some time ago you would have made a big deal about it, felt horrible about it. Now you're looking at it, and I don't know. Please let me know in the comments if any one of you have ever experienced it, that you look at the 3D and it's like objectively horrible, but your reaction to it is like, oh, this is weird. Like, 3D is doing weird stuff. This has nothing to do with me. Like, what's wrong with you? No, and then you just go about your day, and that's all the reaction that the 3D gets from you. When you are in that state, you have done everything correctly, and we wouldn't be here talking. But if you're not in that state, just know that it depends on you. You have to conform. You are working with you, on you. And if there's anyone against you, it's you. There's nothing outside of your imagination, which is yourself, that can prevent anything from happening. Every time you blame something outside of you, you've given your power away. Take it back. Like, it's me. Okay, I manifested this. I have some weird assumption. I'm changing it. Get into that mindset. And the same with a specific person. Now, with a specific person, this can be hard because again, we are so involved. But enjoy the 3D things that are good, those small hints you get that they like you, or whatever movement that you get. But stay present in your mind. Always make sure that you know that if they're doing something that you don't like, you're still holding an image of them that you don't want. And again, to recap, every time you are getting annoyed that they haven't conformed, go back to self, ask yourself, have I conformed? Have my assumptions, beliefs, images in my mind changed? Am I living in the end? Or am I doing my techniques whenever I remember, and then the rest of the time I'm either complaining with my friends or complaining in my head, or worrying that it doesn't come, or wondering where is it, or anything like that that implies the lack. Because the sort of danger, I guess, with doing that is that those thoughts are already a belief in you, so they are going to manifest, or they are already manifesting. That's the experience that you're having, right? So you need to be aware and shift focus And if you don't do, those are on autopilot. Your mind is going to go where it's used to, where it knows. And what it knows is what you are currently experiencing. So this is why it's important to be aware of what is going on in your mind more than what is going on in the 3D. The only way you can use the 3D is to, as a feedback, like, okay, I have this assumption, like that's not good. I can see that that's not good. So how can I change that? I change it to this that I like better. That's it. And that's it. Doesn't need to sound like, oh, it's so easy. I know it's not. I know that when you're emotionally involved, it can be really hard. If you have to cry, cry it out, but come back to self. Always come back to self, and remember, you are the only one manifesting in your experience. So, and this is why I think manifestation is such a powerful knowledge. And you're manifesting even if you don't know, or people who don't know that this is a thing, they are also manifesting, but you know. So that's a lot of power. And also that the only way that a person can conform is by you conforming. And that's probably the difficult part about it, because once you have conformed, the rest is easy. It comes, it flows. It follows also you. So let me know in the comments if this was helpful, if you have any additional questions, and what is your experience with the 3D when you are manifesting? Specifically, people, and how do you deal with it? Please share it in the comments, because it's helpful for other people to know. Sometimes it's helpful to know that they are not the only ones dealing with it, and if you have any advice, that is also helpful for other people who are reading your comment. And once again, subscribe to more tools and information about the laws of the mind. I have a lot of those, and I'm going to post a lot of those. And sometimes I do these very specific manifestation videos that I know that a lot of you care about. So I hope you stay tuned, and see you in the next video.